everyone, this is Shadow the Rat, and in this video I thought I'd show you guys how I spot clean my rat's critter nation. So for those of you who don't know, I have 3 rats who live in a single critter nation, and I spot clean it every 3 days and do a full cleaning every 1.5 to 2 weeks. The bedding I use is Yesterday's News, and this is a really good pelleted cat litter which can absorb odor, and it's really good at just keeping everything very nice and clean, and that's why I go so long between cleanings. For those of you who want to watch my first video on this where I did a full cage cleaning video of my critter nation, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description below. So the first thing I do is I take out my rats and I put them into a small wire travel cage. Now the reason I do this is because they tend to get in the way, and my girls in particular like to try and jump out while I'm cleaning, so it's just a lot easier and it will take a lot less time if I put them in their travel cage. So after I put my girls up, the next thing I do is I take care of the water bottles. My girls have 3 tiny 4-ounce water bottles, and I just take these out and clean them when I do spot cleanings. So I'll take them upstairs and then I'll wash them in the sink. Then I'll refill them back up again and take them back downstairs and put them back in the cage. And the next thing I do is I refill the girls' Oxbow adult rat food. This is their main lab block and they have access to it at all times. So something interesting here is I'm actually using a bird foraging toy to give the rats a little bit more stimulation when they go to eat. Now I don't actually have it closed right now, although they do know how to open it, and I think I'm going to have a clip on screen of the rats using this to get some treats. But in this case, I just tend to keep it open and fill it with Oxbow, and the rats kind of have to work out how they can get to it. Like they have to stand up and make sure it doesn't swing away from them, and then there's different levels. As they finish the first level, they have to go to the second, and so on. So yeah, this is just something I've been trying out. I didn't actually use it in my last video on cage cleaning, however I am using it now and the rats really seem to enjoy having it there. They're using it no problem, so I'm probably going to keep using it for now. Anyway, the next thing I do after filling up the food is to take out all of the dirty nesting material. This is basically just any of the tissues in the cage. The rats tend to soil these. And I just take all of these out, and then after that I look to get some of their poop out, and they usually poop below the water bottles, which I know is kind of weird, but that's just what they do. So I'll just scoop all of that bedding out and then I'll smooth it out. I tend to put a lot more bedding in the cage than you'd really need to, just so during these tiny little spot cleanings I don't really need to add any more bedding. I can just smooth it over with some of the excess bedding from the other side. So that's what I do here. And then I just add back in some more nesting material, which in this case is some paper towels. I use paper towels, tissues, fleece, anything that's kind of soft for the rats to be able to enjoy sleeping and nesting on. All that's left is to spray down the cage with some of my Nature's Miracle. Now I don't actually spray the cage directly because I don't take out the food and water, and if I was going to do that I would want to do so because otherwise the spray might actually get onto the food or into the water, and it's probably not healthy for the rats to ingest it. Anyways, I'll just spray down a paper towel and then I'll wipe down the cage bars. This is just important to do because the cage bars tend to accumulate a lot of pee and gunk on them, and they can make the cage stink so much if you don't clean them regularly, so that's exactly what I do. And then after I finish wiping down the cage bars, that's when I go and get the rats again and put them back in the cage. And then finally, of course, I give them a little treat for being good rats, and that's basically it. So yeah, that's all I do to spot clean the cage. You can see that it's a very quick process, only takes maybe 5 minutes at most, and this just helps keep everything clean and odor-free between cage cleanings. Okay, so that's basically all I wanted to show you. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. If you would like more tips on rat care or rat training, feel free to visit my website at www.rattricks.weebly.com, link in the description. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!